How's it going, everyone? Cameron here, bringing you another video, and in light of getting my Headhunter running burial chambers, thought I'd do a quick video on are burial chambers worth running. The TLDR before I get into it, in my opinion, is no. Now, with that being said, we're going to go over 3 levels of farming, which is Elk and Go Max, which is pretty much kind of what I'm doing in the background, or actually in the background, probably medium value. Elk and Go Max, which is exactly what they say. You elk it and you run it. There's no investments other than an elk and maybe a scour, depending on if you get really shit mods. Second one will be medium investment, which is actually what's going on in the background, which is I have Legion Scarab, Metamorph Scarab, Breed Scarab, and an Elder Scarab. And then, again, depending on how, at like what end of the medium spectrum you can go, you could have just a Legion and Metamorph, or you could go all out Legion, Metamorph, all 4 of them, and then even do Sextants if you want, just to get some more some more mob density. But I wouldn't necessarily go that far, because if you're going to go that far, you're probably better off going all out, and after this map is done in the background, all out is Zana Delirium, quad Sextants, quad Scarabs, to get as much mob density as you can, and just blow everything up as quickly as possible and hope you don't get one shot. Now, what are the pros of running burial chambers? Pretty good layout for Delirium, whether it's through a Zana mod or through the 10% chance of it proccing. I think it's 10%, pretty sure that's what they said. It's obviously got the Doctor card to drop, or a chance to drop, I should say, and it has another okay item, which is the Divination card, the Betrayal, which sells for 9 to 10 chaos, depending. I don't really know why it was expensive. The item must have been buffed a while ago, or the rarity got super nerfed, because I do remember 18 months, 2 years ago, the card dropped like 15 a map, and they were worth absolutely nothing. So I don't know what happened there. Never used the item, don't really care. With that being said, negatives just on running the map at any level of investment. Yes, it is good for Delirium, the layout, but there are massive issues, which in my opinion, the biggest one is all the little ins and outs, like all the little crevices, all the walls, all the stairs that are particularly prevalent in the second half of the map. So this one here that I'm looking at and running around in now. So all these like little things up here on the mini-map are all little walls or crevices that you have to dodge. And especially when you're going all out and you get a Delirium mod and you're zooming around with a Headhunter buff, getting stuck on those and getting instantly one-shot if you are playing a build that is susceptible to one-shots is really, really frustrating. Especially in Delirium mod, where that shit is just hard to see. It's not so much of a problem if you're not running a Delirium, even if you are zooming around, because it's a much, much easier to see. But if you are doing that Delirium, everything's grey and you can't see shit. Now, any Elk and Go map, unless you're just super unlucky, will eventually make you profit just over the long run. Even if there's a couple maps where you don't pretty much get anything, you will always make profit, kind of. Again, it's kind of like, don't spend 10C on a map and then just Elk and Go it and expect to get profit, because you probably won't, unless you get a map return. Like in the case of Tropical Islands, they're 8 to 10C at the moment, so if you're just elking and going, unless you get Tropical Islands back, you're pretty much not going to get profit most of the time. Maybe occasionally you might kind of even out over the long run if you get enough like lucky drops or good drops, or you get a Delirium that has Marraketh and things like that. But I would say unless you're just buying the regular old T15s, T16s at their base price, which are, I think it's 2C for T14s, 3 Chaos for T15s, and 4 Chaos for T16s in general. So at those prices, generally you'll always make profit, because if nothing else, you can sell the excess maps that you get. Second level is medium investment. Now this goes from like a quite quite like high range of differences. You can go a single scarab, say a Legion one, because Legion scarabs are always profitable, again, assuming you do enough of them. All the way up to, you can do Legion Metamorph, Bestiary. In the case of Burial Chambers, you might even consider doing a Divination, though I don't suggest it because it probably won't do anything considering how rare a Doctor card is. So pretty much those three, Legion, Metamorph, and Bestiary, would probably be the best 3 scarabs to run if you're not going all out. If you are going all out and you have that Delirium mod, as you can see in the background, one of the things I've mentioned just before was all the little features that prevent movement or completely screw with your pathing is massively painful to see, especially when you got super high mob density, everything's exploding, and Delirium just makes shit hard to see. So as you can see, that's just a part and parcel of playing a quite squishy build. When you are running Delirium, you get the super slow things, like the things that pop up on the ground and slow you down to like no movement speed. That sucks. And yeah, so when you go all out, you're going to go all in with the investments. You're going to run Zana Delirium if it's available. You're going to go full Sextants, whether it's the Awakened ones or whichever ones you want to use. You got another like 32 packs or something. You're going to go quad Scarab, so probably the best for this particular case would be Legion, absolutely. Metamorph, assuming you can kill the boss. I wasn't killing the boss in this because this build is super squishy to degen, and I just couldn't be bothered. So Metamorph for the extra loot there. I did get quite a few exalts from the killing the Metamorph boss, even without the map boss thing. You probably want an outer one because that juices up the map with even more packs, and then something like a Bestiary, something like a Breach, a Strongbox, anything to just add more packs. And you get a lot of items, a lot of mob density, and it's pretty good. Now, with that being said, Burial Chambers. It's in a weird position that it's a natural T15 map in the Heist League, which will change obviously every league, which means they are super easy to roll. Just buy any regular T15, 2 to 3 chaos each, throw some Orb of Horizons on there, and you'll get as many Burial Chambers as you want. That is, so Tropical Island, for example, which in my opinion is probably the best map to run, isn't, which means you'll have to buy more people that get them to drop, and unless you can sustain them, which as far as I'm aware is not possible with the current Atlas setup, unless you're doing something weird that I haven't been bothered to look into. So you will have to buy them, and they are quite expensive. So there is that. With that being said, Tropical Island has, in my opinion, a better layout, because it's a lot more longer and less squarey, if that makes sense. The middle part, both of them go into a cave for the middle part. So here, in Tropical Island, there are no doors. You just go through a little cabin, kill like 2 packs of mobs, and you're good to go. For this, there's always a bunch of bloody doors, which again, if you're doing a fully juiced map, can be quite annoying if you're trying to like spam click it if you've got multiple haste buffs and stuff is trying to blow you up. Also, and this is again probably the biggest gripe I have with Burial Chambers is, let me just pause this. Can I go back just a little bit? Like all these features of the map here just completely screw over your pathing. And again, it's not too much of an issue if you don't have like a really fast zoom build, but if you are doing the fully decked out, everything invested map, chances are you do. And they're just super frustrating to deal with. With that being said, as I mentioned at the beginning, I don't feel Burial Chambers are pretty much ever worth it unless you are like solo self-found and you're Waterhand Hunter. But then I suppose the question is, Do you expect to get a Headhunter in solo self-found? Or you're running some like crazy 6-man massive item quantity, ultra juice, multiple aura stackers, crazy boom boom build group run activity. In which case it probably is, because you probably will get quite a few of them. With that being said though, I don't think they would be more worthwhile than doing port maps. Like if you're doing like 100% delirium crazy shenanigans, port maps are probably going to be better. Tropical Islands are probably going to be better. And yeah, there's probably just a bunch of maps that are just better. The only reason people would run Burial Chambers is to get that Doctor card. And it's not common. Like, it's not even a little bit common. It is obnoxiously rare. Like, unless you're doing multiple thousands, don't expect to get one. So yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Again, if you watched to the end, congratulations. Don't run Burial Chambers ever. Get them, sell them to some other poor sucker that's going to run them. Maybe they get lucky, maybe they don't. But in the 400 maps, 200 juice maps, 0 Headhunter cards. So yeah, in my opinion, just not worth the effort. There are better maps to run. So why would you deal with Burial Chambers? Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.